Hey everyone, Dark Dragoon here with Season 2, Episode 8 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. We are right back here at the project table, and we're getting ourselves a couple Ender Pearls rather. Not Eyes of Ender, that'd be amazing, but not what we're making. Using our Minium Stone again to make things a bit easy on ourselves, we're going to make 2 of them. The reason being, I am working on getting this whole system set up to pump lava out, but I don't really want to use an engine to do so. So I'm going to use our assembly table to make something cool. So let's take a look what we could do. So if we pop our ender pearls into our assembly table, you can see we get something that we haven't made yet, the pulsating chipset, and I'm going to get that going right now. The cool thing about these is they let us make these things called autarkic gates. And what the autarkic gate, kind of hard to say, a little bit of a tongue twister. What they do is they basically have an option, much like all the other gates. They work the same way, except they add an option called energy pulsar, which pretty much acts as a redstone engine when on a wooden pipe. So we're going to replace our bit of dirt here on the side of our valve piece here, just like so. And obviously you can see there's nothing flowing because there's no power to this. I would have to either have the autarkic gate on there or a redstone engine. So this shouldn't take too long. We should have a pulsating chipset pretty soon. Let's see. It's going to take a minute apparently. How's our energy in here? It's pretty much all out of energy. This thing will probably start to slow down pretty soon. Hopefully we've got enough. I'm very much looking forward to getting this system completed, because then we're not going to have any problems with Buildcraft energy, and we're probably going to have to make ourselves another one of these storage blocks just to accommodate everything. So there we go, pulsating chipset. So if we go ahead and put these in here with an iron chipset and an iron gate, plenty of iron gates, we're going to get autarkic iron gate. So I'm going to let that run while we go over into the nether and finish up. We're going to slap some of these gates onto our piping in there to help regulate the engine that's in there, the magmatic engine. And then we're going to make a mess more of them, and we're going to basically get our Buildcraft power generation system hopefully finish this episode. That is my plan, at least. So we're just going to take our gates, and right here on our liquid pipes, we're just going to throw those down. As you can see, the engine is already jammed up because it's overheated, so this is a good point to get this thing going. So I think what we're going to set it to is, let's see, items in inventory? Yes, because that will mean it'll be on when there are cans in here. Let's see. It's going to emit. I forgot to grab some red pipe wire, didn't I? Derp. That's really the only response I can give to that. Let me run over here. Yeah, looks like we're out of energy. And only about halfway through with that. Let's grab that. This is definitely going to be better once we get our system fully working. Let's run back here. Now what I'm probably going to have to do as well in the future, probably near future, is get a chunk loader in here. But I'll explain that when we get to it. So when there's items in inventory, emit a redstone signal, or a red pipe signal. And here we're going to tell it, when you get a red pipe signal, emit a redstone signal. That will make this lever completely superfluous. So once I get my wrench, that should no longer be an issue. This way, once our system in the overworld, once the tank is full, this whole system should realistically stop working at a certain point. I hear ghasts. I don't like it. I don't know where they are, but I definitely don't like it. Okay, so that's done. Let's pop back into the overworld and go ahead and grab our Omni Wrench. That way we can get back to fixing this here coming up as soon as we get back into the Nether. But what we're gonna do next is we're going to looks like I'm gonna need to. Strangely enough, I have no cobblestone, so I'm gonna need to take a minute to quarry up some cobblestone. And when I come back, we'll get our engines put together and hopefully get this system put together and finished. So I'll be back in just a few. Alright, we are back. You can see that I definitely got myself a bunch more cobblestone. And the reason for this is we're going to need a lot of materials to get everything done we want to. So we're going to need a total of 6 pistons. Got those. We're also going to need, let's take a look at our magmatic engine. I think we need silver for that, for the transmission coil. So yes, we're going to need 6 silver. It's the only thing I forgot, I think. Don't quote me on that, because chances are I will forget other things. Always forgetting something. So we're going to need 6 of these coils, which are simple enough to make. There we go. Then we're going to need a bunch of tin. So we're going to need a total of 12 gears. Let's see here. Let's just go ahead and get all of that we can, because we're going to need quite a bit more sticks than that. That wasn't my intention, but hey. Should be something like, I think that'll do. There we go. So we'll just, there we go. 12 gears, which of course we will then have to make into stone gears. And then we're going to want to surround that with tin. Tin gears. Okay. I don't know if we're going to have quite enough tin to finish this off. I'm going to have to check to see if we have some more sitting inside our chest, but we can go ahead and make 3. And then we can go ahead and run over there and check to see what our tin situation is. Unfortunately, I kind of have a bad feeling about this, and that bad feeling is correct. So what I'm going to have to do is just set up part of this system for now, and then when we get enough tin to make the rest of our magmatic engines, we'll have to do that. Unless, let's see here. I'm wondering if we get lucky, there might be something we can do with the minium stone. Something makes me doubt it though. Yeah. So, okay. So it looks like we're definitely just gonna have to set up half of this for now, and then we'll set up the other half once I go do some mining and get the rest of our tin. So that's not where I wanted to put that. I wanted to put that there and there. So where's our pickaxe? There we go. So by setting it up like this, you guys can see I had definitely planned out sort of what I was doing here, and we have it pretty simply. We've got lava is going to be coming in here, going to supply engines here and here, which will then supply power out this way. And I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to put an energy conduit block right here to store up the power that this is generating, and it should generate quite a bit of power, which is really good. So it looks like our autarkic gate is done, so I can go ahead and I'm gonna need 3 iron gates. There we go. And we should have some red pipe wire left over. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to automate this autarkic gate so that it'll pump lava out so long as these engines need lava. And if it doesn't need lava, then it won't. So, yeah. Probably not necessary to do, but I like doing it. I like using the gates. They are fun indeed. So, pretty simply, we're going to tell it if the red pipe signal is on, emit an energy pulsar. What that means is, like I said before, it'll work like a redstone engine. So here we're going to tell it if, let's see here, there is space for liquid in the tank, emit a red pipe signal. And we're going to do that with all of these. Space for liquid, red pipe signal, space for liquid, red pipe signal. Cool. So at this point, if any of these engines have room for any more lava, this energy pulsar will run. And you can see lava is flowing and these engines are actually going. I'm going to, for now, tell them to stop running since we don't have anywhere for this power to go at the moment. And yeah. So, from there, I'm thinking we're definitely going to have some more gates. We might have just enough gates. Let's see here. Because we're definitely going to have one here when we have an energy storage block. We're going to use that to basically send a pipe signal to all of these engines. So I think we have just perfectly enough, which I promise I did not plan that. Totally a coincidence. And we're going to need a little bit more of that red pipe wire. But we've got plenty of it sitting over here. And I'm going to go ahead and set these gates up now, even though obviously they don't have anything to attach to. But, well, I just like thinking ahead. So if you get a red pipe signal, emit a redstone signal, red pipe signal, redstone signal, red pipe signal, redstone signal. Cool. And same for the top. Come on. Did I forget to... Hold on. Yes, I did. I was wondering what was going on there. It's interesting. I didn't know that there was a red pipe signal off thing. It hasn't always been the case. So, at least as far as I've ever noticed. So we're pretty much set up here. The only other thing obviously we can't do here is tell it the if part of the statement, but we can tell it to emit a red pipe signal. So, that done, trying to decide if we have everything we need to put this together. I can't recall how much electrum we're sitting on. 16 may very well be enough. And I can't remember if we've got... I think we went ahead and used all of our hardened glass. So, yeah, so basically what that means is I'm going to have to go and do a bit of mining, particularly for some tin. But when I come back, we'll finish up our engines, make the last 3, make ourselves a energy storage block, and we'll be good to go. So, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and you can see I definitely got myself a bit more obsidian so that we can go ahead and put another one of our redstone energy storage blocks together. You can see our engines here are off because we probably need more coal. We're starting to kind of run a little bit low on that. That's disconcerting. I'm just going to pop right into the back of our engines here. Let those get going. There we go. Not like it's going to matter too much pretty soon, but I definitely like to have a little bit of that extra power generation. So let's get this put together real quick. I should hopefully remember this little recipe, energy cell frame. We're going to basically take that and we're going to put it into our liquid transposer right here. Fill it up with liquid redstone, which we're probably going to have to melt a bit more of that as well. One stack might very well be enough. So yeah, this is going to take a minute. So while this is going, we should have enough tin now, because I did manage to get a little bit more of that and processed it. Let's go ahead and get our last magmatic engines made. You can see I've already got the recipe in here. So 1, 2, 3 more. And they're going to go pretty much where we have our dirt right here. So it should be something like this. Oh. Now I think we want to set these guys to require a redstone signal to run. That way, obviously, once we get the storage block, nothing's running until we have that, so that the power has somewhere to go. Our lava tank is still should still be filling. Why? Oh, I know why. Because we need to run over the nether and load the chunk, at least for a minute or so, so that it can so that our system can run. When we get ourselves a chunk loading block, this won't be a problem anymore because we can put a chunk loader in here, and it will keep our chunk loaded even though we're not here, which is cool. Yeah, see this thing? It's gonna run for a minute. So why don't I let this run for a minute off camera, and when I come back, hopefully our energy cell will be filled. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back, and as you guys can see, our energy cell frame has finished filling up with redstone, liquid redstone. So let's take a look at our energy cell here. Pretty simple to make, just gonna need some lead and some electrum. And got our electrum, we have some lead, and we're gonna need a touch of redstone. Probably just do this right here in our pocket crafting table. Conductance coil, and it should be something along these lines. Cool. Redstone energy cell. That done, we should be able to finish up our system here. I'm going to grab a little bit of smooth stone, so once this thing is in place, we can go ahead and cover things up and make them look nice. Come on. Okay. Right back over here and slap it down. Alright, so now that it's down, you can see obviously it is filling up with energy, although I believe that is because the pipes are currently, or no, because it's attached to the system, it's going to be starting to suck power out of here, which is okay. We want to output 100 megajoules per tick. And for here, we're going to tell it if it can store energy, go ahead and emit a red pipe signal. So now you can see our engines start to run. They are starting to create power, and this thing is starting to fill up pretty quickly. Obviously, these two are now kind of working in concert with each other. It looks like all the power from this one dumped out into this one over here, but once this fills, obviously this whole system will actually, I know why all the power dumped. Let me grab our wrench, because I don't want power to dump into that cell. I want it to come out of that cell. What we could do is have different lines going into it that some would go in, some would go out, but we don't really need it to, because this is going to be pretty much our main source of power. Cool. So the way this is set up now, both of these are completely self-sustaining. These engines only will fill this block, and these engines will only fill this block, but both of these blocks will supply power to the greater system as a whole. Cool. Which means realistically we have probably about 1.5 times the amount of power that we had before, because that system over there, while useful, is definitely not as efficient. So mostly because it doesn't produce as much power and it is going to eat up coal, whereas this produces much more power. As you can see, each of these individually is producing, I think, up to 4 megajoules per tick. So with this system we have 4 times 6, 24 megajoules being produced every tick, about, as compared to the, I believe, 6 we were producing over here. Close to 6, not even 6. So yeah, very, very nice. So that done, I'm going to go ahead and cover up our wiring, just to, like I said, make things look a little nice. And we're going to cover up, if we can, looks like I'm going to have to dig a little bit to fix it. There we go. And yeah, there we go. Everything is covered up. That should be covered up. We've got our gigantic lava-powered pistons that are giving us quite a bit of juice, which is good. And you can see our automated gates are automatically checking the engines to see if they need lava and supplying more if it needs, and all of this is automated, so cool. I also want to show you guys, I went ahead and got our system in the Nether running, but before I do that, I want to go ahead and make that chunk loading block I was talking about. Now, if you don't know what chunk loaders do, basically, as you might know, Minecraft pretty much operates by loading these 16 by 16 block chunks of area. And usually Minecraft will remove the chunks, they'll unload them from the memory when you're not near one, or and enough time has passed. So obviously when we're not in the Nether, the chunk will unload because we're not there to keep it loaded, so the game will try to save us some memory. But we don't want it to do that, because we want our system to be running even when we're not there. So to fix that little problem, we have a couple different options as far as chunk loading is concerned. There's the chunk loader. This one is from Chicken Chunks, I believe. And there's also the World Anchor from Railcraft. You can see the recipe for the World Anchor here. It's kind of expensive. Obviously needs an ender pearl and some diamonds and gold and obsidian. Whereas the chunk loader from Chicken Chunks will need gold, an ender pearl, and an enchantment table. So you can see, I'm pretty sure this chunk loader is probably more expensive, but it can do a little more and it can load more than one chunk at a time. For what we're doing, we probably can just get away with just a World Anchor, and we'll be able to save ourselves on a bit of resources. So I think that's what we're going to do. Because we're going to need another ender pearl. I saw an enderman out there. I'm sure you did too. But I'm just going to use our minium stone again, because that thing is so useful. We're starting to run low on gold. And we're going to need 2 diamonds. So, let's grab our minium stone out of our chest over here. There we go. And we'll just put this together real quick. Minium stone. Ender pearl. Excellent. And it should be something along these lines. Diamonds on the side. Gold here. World Anchor. Cool. Alrighty. So let's take our World Anchor and jump back into the Nether. And really we can put this just about anywhere. Actually, honestly not sure if a World Anchor can sit, if one of these timers can sit on a World Anchor. You know what? No time like the present to find out, right? Because if so, then we'll go from it looking completely Oh, they changed the world anchor apparently. Apparently this runs on ender pearls, I'm assuming. Aha. That is interesting. Okay, well in that case, it looks like I don't really want to be having this thing running on ender pearls, to be perfectly honest. We just don't have enough income right now to do that. So, it looks like I'm just checking our transposer here to make sure, to double check why it's not. Oh, because we turned off our, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and go back and we'll have to use up quite a bit more resources than I was intending, but that's okay. Live and learn, right? We'll go ahead and just throw our world anchor in there. Makes a certain amount of sense that they changed that. It is a very powerful ability, but then again, kind of important to be able to do. So, we're going to need a piece of leather, because to make our chunk loader, we're going to have to make ourselves an enchantment table, which will require a book. And I believe it's something along these lines. That's not what I wanted. And a couple diamonds. So, I'm going to use a couple more diamonds. I think between this episode and next, I've got a lot of mining to do. Mostly because obviously we're running low on pretty important materials like gold and diamond. But hopefully, now that we're getting our system in place here, hopefully we're getting pretty close to the point where I can set up some automatic mining systems that will sort of take a little bit of the work away from me, which is always good. So, let's go ahead and get this thing made. It should be gonna need another ender pearl. Do I have iron on me? Of course not. Always forgetting something, right? Always having to run back and forth, back and forth. So 4 iron with our minium stone should do it for us. And actually, we should be able to just do this. I think I need one more gold, don't I? We'll just use our pocket crafting table to get the job done. Okay, chunk loader, cool. Now this thing is very, very neat, but it isn't going to cost us anything, so. Okay, so I'm pretty positive nothing can go on our chunk loader, so we're just going to slap it down right here. And you can see it can definitely do a lot more things than your standard chunk loader. We really only need to load one chunk, probably this chunk. And there's a lot of different little options here. I'm thinking we can do it just with one chunk and a square. And if you tell it to turn on the lasers, we get a cool laser light show, and it's telling us which chunk is loaded. Cool. But we're going to hide the lasers because we don't really need to see those. And we're going to need to slap our stone thing back there and set that up. There we go. And our system should be running again. And if we leave, it should continue to run, which is exactly what we want. Oh, I see a blaze. I'm gonna kill it. Come on, little blaze. Oh, maybe not. The blaze was a trap. It set up an ambush. Okay, so if we come over here, the system should be running still. It should be having no problem keeping up. So you can see, even though we're not in the nether, the lava containers are still increasing. See, up to 4, back down to 3, 4, 3. This is running at about as fast as our system can supply it with lava containers, which is exactly what we wanted. So that done, our system looks to be pretty much done. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be done to it. Producing quite a bit of power, as you guys can see, both of these systems are producing power. Obviously this one's, like I said, producing less. Now what we could probably do if we wanted to is go down here and we could separate out these systems a little bit so that only one of them is supplying power to a particular set. And that might not be a bad idea because these machines here probably don't need too much energy at any given point. So what will probably happen is I'll probably go in here and separate these two systems out. So this is just supplying power to probably our assembly table, and then obviously it'll supply power to some other things, and then have this system supply power only to our rolling machine and these machines here. So I'll probably do that off camera between now and next episode, and I'm also going to do some mining. And so, that said, I'm trying to think, we have a lot of buildcraft power, which is really good for getting started on some forestry stuff. So I'm thinking that next episode may be involved with some forestry, so look forward to that. But for now, I think this is about where we need to call this episode. So until next episode, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and tune in for next episode. I'll catch you guys later.